It was a sudden and powerful storm as an EF0 tornado touched down in northeast Portland yesterday, causing damage in several places. Tonight, we're talking with the National Weather Service about how exactly it determines whether a storm is actually a tornado. Fox 12's Kelsey Watts is live tonight with that interview. Kelsey?
Well, as Oregon and Washington aren't generally thought of as places that see tornadoes, but the National Weather Service says we do get them 1 or 2 times a year usually, although they are generally very weak on the EF scale. And in each case, their first step is to send a crew out into the field to talk with people who saw the storm and, of course, to take a look at the damage.
The damage is really kind of very telling. We look at the pattern of the damage. If the damage is all kind of laying toward one direction, it's usually straight line wind. But if we see the damage is kind of swirly or in a few different directions, that can sometimes determine whether it was, again, straight line wind or a tornado.
That's LAUREL McCoy. She was one of the surveyors out in northeast Portland yesterday. Their team spent a couple of hours on the ground here. She says they saw a lot of trees down, large limbs down, and some roof damage too, where shingles were folded up or even missing. She says a chimney was damaged, and we've heard from neighbors who also say window panes blew out in homes and cars. McCoy tells us several people reported seeing swirling clouds above them. She says the tornado lasted for only 6 minutes and it was not on the ground the whole time, which is why we're seeing spotty damage over the course of several blocks here.
It kind of touched down and came back up and touched down and came back up. The tornadoes tend to do that. They don't always track along the ground the entire damage path, especially these weaker ones, these smaller, weaker ones. And so you see spotty damage as opposed to a full line of solid damage.
And while the National Weather Service appreciates seeing your photos and videos, they also say in a situation like we saw yesterday, the most important thing is making sure you get to a place that's safe. So if you're right in the middle of the storm, don't stay outside and snap those pictures and videos because you could be hurt. Luckily, yesterday in this tornado, no injuries were reported. Reporting in northeast Portland tonight, Kelsey Watts, Fox 12 Oregon.